Hey man, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be a few minutes of me talking, but I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna break down certain things I want to talk about. Let's talk about friends, man. Like when it comes to um, being a man and with women, yeah, you got to watch out for them, man, because they one thing about them, they say one thing and they do the opposite. But now you got to really look at the men that's your friends as well, because some of these men are cutthroat. They don't care. Majority of these, most of these men, I ain't gonna say majority. Most of these men out here are are very feminine. Been raised by their mothers. Been raised by their been raised by their grandmothers. Been around their aunts. A lot of feminine energy. Sisters. No male figures. Even though they may have uncles. You know, that they have uncles, but they're not really in their lives and stuff like that. Or if they are in their life, they're not really talking to them as a man of what a man should be as they get older. Development stages. So they're always around women majority of the time. So there's really no male influence in their life. There's times where I lost friends, man. Maybe I may say friends. Maybe I may just say people that I grew up with, basically, for 20, 30 years that I've known, but we just grew up. And, there's things where, they may ask me for advice and I give them the advice and they don't like what I tell them. And, then I don't hear from them, and then, when you start hearing more of them talking, it's like, damn, like, you really are a female. You're not really a male. You really are a female because this what you've been raised around. You wasn't raised around, you may have a male figure in your life, but the male figure that was in your life didn't teach you how to become a man. My father taught me how to become a man. My mom, my dad, we had a nuclear family. Me and my older brother. Even when they separated, they were still technically married. I still had my father in my life to teach me how to be a man and gave me wisdom and told me things to have to look out as I get older as a man. When I'm 17, 18, times I felt a little uncomfortable talking to him about certain things, even though he's a man. But then I start getting comfortable. But I think the reason why I was honestly a little uncomfortable saying certain things because I'm a kid. I wasn't worrying about sex when I was a kid. I was worrying about video games. I was worrying about wrestling, sports, things like that. Music and things like that when I was a kid. And my dad kept telling me about sex. And he wasn't just the only one, telling me about sex. Not my older brother, but my mom's boyfriend. He tell me about sex. But the way my dad say things in depth, it made me feel uncomfortable. It been at times where me and my dad was hanging out on a Saturday, and my dad's doing grocery shopping, and we're at a shop race, and he lived in Philly. I'm a Philly guy. I'm a Philly guy, but I love Jersey, so I claim Jersey as well. I think I claim Jersey more than Philly. So I'm sorry. So we at the Albany Plaza, and there's young I'm 16, 17. There's young girls my age, my peers, working there, and my dad trying to talk, trying to holler at these women for me. I'm like, Dad, like, I'm not worrying about these women out here. Like, first of all, I can't do anything with them because I'm a teenager. I have no house, I have no stability, and I'm in Jersey, and I'm not worried about seeing a young woman my age every week. I like video games. I like college football. I like football. I like sports in general. I like to go back to Jersey and watch The Sopranos, Oz, The Wire, things like that. Um, but as I got older, I felt more comfortable talking to my father about certain things because that's when I realized at the end of the day, like, for men, it sucks because there's not a lot of fatherly. There's not a lot of fathers that's in a child's life. I think a lot of reason why is because of the woman, and sometimes it is the man that say, you know what, I'm trying to fight to be in my child's life, my son, my daughter. I'm speaking technically sons. I will say daughters as well, but I'm not going to say that right now. But I'm going to just say his sons. You do have fathers out here that want to be in a son's life, but these women out here, they're so bitter, they make it hard, for a man to see their own child. And women don't understand that, yes, you birthed the child, and you carry the child through 3 trimesters, but at the end of the day, without that child that you birthed, there's no life. The man gives the child the life through his seed, through his semen. We give the child life in order for the child to grow. So we give you life. And I don't think a lot of women understand that. But I say that to say this: when it still comes to men that have been raised by women and been around women all their life and they've been heavily influenced, you really have to be careful dealing with guys that have been around a lot of women and been raised by women, mother, aunt, maybe an older sister, older cousin, things like that. They've been around because they have that female mentality. That's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. Very dangerous to be around a man that been in that type of environment because they don't know how to become. They don't know how. They don't know what it is to be a man. They just know how females are, and that's what they've been around. So they're going to take after them. They may say, "Hey, well, you can tell me anything you want, man. I'm going to sit here and listen, man. You can be real with me. Hey, man, I'm here for the advice. You can give it to me. You give it to them, they're not going to like it. They're going to have female ways of the way you say things to him as advice. And you're looking at him as, yo, you my brother. I'm going to give you the advice that you need. But he's going to look at it like, damn, like as a female, like, damn, like, I can't fuck with you, man, because, he going to look at you like, oh, man, you like, the way he going to look at you like, damn, why you saying things like that towards me? Because you asked me as a friend that you know for years to give you advice and be honest with you. So if you want the advice and I'm being honest with you and you can't handle it, dude, you're a fucking bitch. There's no need for me to be associated with you anymore. And I lost a couple of friends like that because they never had their father in their life. My father that passed away, my father, he's my dad. He's my best friend. He was always my best friend. And I have friends I grew up with that I consider my best friends. But at the end of the day, through thick and thin, he was the only one that was there for me. My dad, my father. My dad was always there for a particular person that was in my life that had no father figure in his life. And it wasn't even his father. It was his youngest sister's father. But as we start getting older, you can tell the femininities that he picked up from his mother, his sister, his aunts, and his grandmother. And as he got older, he still carried those. Habits as he got older, and we're not friends anymore because when he did things, I'm not going. Well, I guess you could say adultery with his wife and everything like that. He came to me. He cried. And it's like I'm like, dude, like I understand you're crying because it's your wife and everything like that. I understand that, and I hugged him. I hugged him as a man, like, dude, you my man. Like, I'm not gonna have you just sitting here and just beat yourself up over something that could have been prevented. I'm not gonna sit up here and ridicule you and everything. Yes, you was wrong. You cheated, but the way the situation was fucked up. So I don't even know, like, if she was doing dirt behind his back, for him to, to creep out and do what he had to do. So, another year later, it's the same situation. I said, damn, man, it's like almost a year later, you're still going through the same thing. And I wasn't really thinking about it at the time because I'm like, well, if he went through it the first time, he went for a year after. It's just, husband and wife shit. I never been married. At times I wanted to be married, but now the way it is right now, there's no need to be married, man. Don't get married, man. Do not get married. I'm not going to sit up here and say go overseas and be a passport bro and stuff like that because them women out there, they starting to become feminized and everything like that. And they setting guys up when Americans go to their country. That you go to a third world country over there and you're American, they look at you as an American with money. They look at dollar signs. They're going to set you up. They're going to have guys that are going to set you up through them. If you want to do it, that's on you, man. That's your life. That's the way you want to live. It's your dick. It's your conscience. It is what it is. Me personally, I don't even care anymore. This era of hooking up, talking to women, bro, is dead, man. It's dead everywhere. I mean, it's dead here in this country in America, and it's starting to it's starting to spread out to the eastern hemisphere, and it's starting to get dead over there. So I'd rather just worry about stacking my money up, and I have a daughter, and even though me and my daughter doesn't have a good relationship, because now she's getting influenced by, and maybe I might have failed as a father, but I was always there for her. But maybe I might have failed the father because now she's influenced by, feminists and lesbianism and everything like that. So now she's dressing like a dude, Chuck Taylors, shorts, striped shirts and everything like that. And she's still beautiful. I love her. But now she's turned into one of these fucking dykes, these studs out here. Very, very smart. That's my daughter. Very smart, very intelligent, but doesn't have any critical thinking. Because if you have critical thinking, you wouldn't be heavily influenced by things that goes on through social media. So she's not smart. She doesn't have the critical thinking skills as some people does out here. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'll touch on that some other time. I still love her regardless. I hate to say this as well. No, I ain't gonna say it because it's not my son, so I'm not gonna say that. Maybe some of you guys may be like, damn, I think he's trying to say what we want to say about, her little, I'm not gonna do it. About these boys, sometimes where when you have multiple maybe fathers and things like that happen, especially when it like I just said earlier about my person I grew up with. Do I still consider him as a friend? Yeah, that's a lot of history, man. Can I confide in him? Yeah, I can confide in him. Can I actually, even though he doesn't pick up the phone or respond back when I call him or text him, just see how he's doing, how his life going with him? Is it a person that I can actually, say he's still my right hand man? I can't do that. Can't do that because he don't consider me the same way I look at him. And that's why I say that it's very hard to, besides dealing with women, it's very hard of picking and choosing when it comes to men as your friends, because these men are fucking females nowadays, man. They have female tendencies, and you're a man, and they could be a man as well, but they're like split in the middle of being a man and having female tendencies. That's dangerous, man. Like I don't want, like, it's very dangerous because now you have to look at this man as someone that can actually go behind your back and deal with someone that you're dealing with right now. That's your girlfriend and stuff like that, and go back and say, oh well, he doesn't care about you like that. I care about you. I love you. I could treat you better than him. That's female tendencies. That's a male. That's a man acting like a female, talking to another female to have her get more comfortable. Like, oh my God, you are a genius person. Yeah, female, because women like shit like that. Not all women, but some women like that shit. And when a man is soft and have female tendencies, I don't have that. I can play the game hey girlfriend, let me tell you something like this, that, and the third. And they're like, oh my God, I love the energy that you're giving me. I'm just trying to fuck you. That's it. I'm trying to have sex with you. There's nothing more, nothing less. I don't want anything out of you. I see you. You're a nice looking woman. I'm just trying to have sex with you. And as you have some of the guys out here that pull them type of strings. They say things to make it sound good to try to have you in the bed and fuck you and kick you out after they have sex with you. But like I just said, can I hang out with the homie? Nah, I can't do it. I mean, I can't even hang out with the homie anymore because this happened more than once. Lot of occurrences with him. I can't do it anymore. But even though I can't do it with him, I still have love for his sister and I have love for his mother. But when it comes to him, I can't do it because you can't sit up and say you want the smoke and you want a person to be honest with you, and then when they're honest with you, you can't take it. You should have never asked me in the first place. You already know who I am. You already know what I will say to you. That's big brother to little brother. a year difference, but it's big brother to little brother. But you asked for it, and I gave it to you, and you still don't like it. You can't accept it, but you wanted it. But you already know. You know me for 30 something years, and you know I'm very direct, and I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not going to hold back because I expect the same thing from you. Now, if you're not the same way I am, and you want to try to hold my hand, you know, through the fork in the road, that's cool. But when I give you advice that you want and you say you can handle it and I give it to you, I can't talk to you anymore, man. So I'm not a friend that can give you those type of advices. You need friends that can do the same thing you do to me, hold my hand and walk me down to that fork and that path. We're two different peoples. I'm not like that. And that's why I lose a lot of friends and family members because I'm very direct. And one thing about me, like if I'm direct and I ask you something, I want you to be as honest as you can with me and be direct towards me and not pull any punches. Now, I'm done with that situation. Now, when it comes to these women right now, these black women out here, man, because I don't I try to stay with social media because I have a life. I'm sorry, I have a cold. My voice is hoarse and everything like that. But you know what? Y'all black women, man, y'all have to really stay. And just black women and just women in general. I think it's more black women than just the other nationalities. But I'm just gonna say black women because I'm a black man. I'm a mixed man. I'm black. Y'all black women need to stop saying, "Well, I'm 55 years old. I'm in my late 40s and my early 60s, and I still have." Guys in their 20s and in their early 30s hollering at me. That's not a flex. It's not a flex. How dumb can you be? They just want to fuck you because you're fucking you're 55. You're late 40. You have kids that's damn near the same age as them, or maybe older than them, or maybe a little bit younger than them. All they want to do is fuck. They want to get their dicks sucked. They want to have you. They don't take you serious. They want to have you. They want to have you. They want to have you like a person in the woods going after a deer. Once he blasts that deer, his head is on a mantle. That's how you are. He wants to have your head on the mantle and say, damn, this is the best experience I ever had in my life. Yeah, she could suck dick good. Yeah, she threw it back. Yeah, she kind of creamed a little bit. But at the end of the day, like, I can't do anything with her after that because she can't reproduce. She's in her 50s. She's already going through damn near menopause and a midlife crisis. Can't do anything with that. It's just fun. But for women sitting here saying, when women sit up here and say, well, I got young guys hollering at me, you sound dumb just by saying that out your mouth because they don't look at you in a way they will look at someone that's their age or younger that they can say, I can have a family with. You're just fun times. It's not a flex. Just like it's not a flex when women say, well, I've been engaged. I have been engaged 2 or 3 times. Cool. You make it to third base. How come you never went to home base? You ain't touch all the bases. You went to third. You went to third. That was it. But you didn't touch the last base, which is home, when you scored to go back in the dugout. So you still so basically you was on third base and you was out after that. It's not a flex. I don't like when women say things like, "Oh well, I was engaged 3 or 4 times." It don't mean shit because you never make it to home base. You never had your father, or if not your father, a male figure walk you down the aisle to give you away. Maybe you don't have any children, but maybe you didn't have any children, but when that man walked you down the aisle to give you away, that's when you wanted to get married and do everything traditional. But it didn't work out. So stop with the flex. There's no flex. Embarrassment and flex is 2 different things. What you're saying is not a flex. It's an embarrassment. You had 3 different men or 2 men that engage that put an engagement ring on you, or maybe an engagement ring and the other one put a promise ring on you, you can't be that slow. You really can't be that slow. It's not a flex. You was on third base. You couldn't even make it home. So if the guy didn't really fully commit to you when it comes to giving you an engagement ring, that means it might have been something that you might have done that made him say, you know what, I don't, I can't take it further than what it is. I'm going to leave it as that. I just put a ring on it. She can keep the ring. The ring's probably like $400 anyway. Maybe like a Walmart ring and stuff like that. Give it to her and stuff like that. She's not worth more than that. But you still think it's a flex. And you still want to bring it up to other men. Well, I've been engaged. Other men don't care about that because other men like, well, you're talking to me, but you're not married. And you've been engaged twice. But you're sitting here talking to me. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, it's always, and that's the thing. Hold on one second. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's always, and that's the thing that really bothered me a little bit. Like I don't get triggered. It just bothered me a little bit to the point of like, damn, why, why is it always my people? Why is it always black women thinking, having multiple baby fathers and being engaged by 2 times by men, and they think that's the end game. But you think it's an end game as a flex, but you haven't accomplished anything. You're still sitting here talking to me. It's not an end game. If anything, the man saw something in you and he realized I can't fuck with you. Because some of these men are smartening up and say, you know what? There's no need to be married out here anymore. There's no need to put a ring on these women's fingers. These women look at men as contracts. Marriage is a contract, and these women are looking at these men nowadays as contracts. They look at men like, well, if once we get married, things don't work out within the first year. I could take them to court, get alimony. We have a child together, maybe like a 3-year-old, or I mean not a 3-year-old. I'm sorry, like a 3-month-year-old, 3-month son or daughter. I could take him to court for child support and try to break everything. I'm trying to break his spirit. I'm trying to take everything that he has and have it to me, even a child, which is the most hurtful thing, because you have women out here that use these kids as pawns, to try to benefit them. So who's the evil one? Is it the man or is it the woman that try to use these kids in the court system? It happened to me before. It happened to me before when I was a child with my mother. God bless my mother's soul. It happened to me. It happened to me when I had a daughter mother, and she used my daughter as a pawn. Try to lie on me so I couldn't see my daughter in 3 years through a restraining order with child support, which the judge didn't even know in Philly that she had me on child support. When she asked her, is he on child support? She said no. And I won my case, and I still didn't see my daughter after the child support started developing in Jersey. So you have women out here that are scorned women. They don't like defeat. They don't like losing. They don't like that shit. They don't like that shit. they don't like the fact that the courts can actually turn on them and hear what the man had to say, and the man not I'm gonna say 1 out of 10, maybe 2 out of 10. That could be honest, and he or she behind the bench was like, yeah, I actually believe what he have to say, and they don't like that because they think them going to court is already an automatic W on their favor. Even though they can show up one time for the prelim, they don't have to show up at all, but we have to show up to fight for our life. Even if you're trying to fight for our kids, we still gotta show up every day. They don't have to show up because it benefits them, but it doesn't benefit us because we have to show up. If we're late or we don't show up, everything's gonna be thrown out by default. All the money that you spent, the attorneys and lawyer fees and everything like that for you to try to get your case settled, So you could win. You can miss a day. And 9 out of 10, it maybe just be thrown out and say, "Damn, all the money I wasted, everything will be by default." Damn. Well, he ain't show up. Throw it out. We have to go through the effort of waking up all the time, missing work, missing money. Who the heck want to miss money at their job just to go to court and wait for 3 hours just to hear a fucking 15-minute conversation and you out the door? That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Hold on one second. I mean, it's crazy, man. I know I got to shave and get a haircut and everything like that. I've been under the weather since October 5th, and I lost 20 pounds. And I haven't really eaten like a full meal and everything like that. But I'm trying to. Hey, when I lost damn near 20 pounds, everything. I'm very sickly right now. I'm not sickly right now. I'm just trying to get over this. This cough, dizzy spells and things like that, and also my voice because my voice is harsh. I never sound. I mean, I don't sound like this. I know that I get it from my father, my dad, upper respiratory infection, and bronchitis. So I probably do have bronchitis. I shouldn't be smoking, but at the end of the day, man, like the way my life is right now, man, I really don't care, man, because I think about my parents every single day. It's not no suicidal stuff or depression stuff, but I think about them every day, and I would love to join them because the way it is out here in this world, man, like I don't want to be a part of it because there's no good into this world right now. Everything is getting worse and worse by the minute, man, and it's sad. So now I'm trying to actually start saying to myself, maybe I need to just like really focus on myself, take care of my health, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. Even though I'm doing live and I'm drinking and I'm smoking it right now, but I am going to do that. I really am because I do want to live. I do want to live, and I know there's a lot of. I'm pretty sure there's chapters in my life that I have to start. My life is like this, and I'm pretty sure, and I think people should actually maybe live like this as well. Your life is a book. You create your own chap. You create your own title in your chapters in your book. So you're always gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your downs and ups. You're gonna have a lot of things where you may feel as though you may want to give up, but there's one thing out here that may have you turn your life around, and you say, "I gotta," oh man, I ain't expect that to happen. I gotta keep it moving. I mean, it's just life, man. It's just life. Um, Life is a beautiful thing. It really is. The way I live my life right now is like I don't have no circle anymore, man. My main circle is my mother and my father. My daughter's in my circle. Even though me and my daughter mother wasn't together, we weren't together in almost 15 years, and she was 2 years old when I broke up with her because she cheated. She's always going to be in my circle, just the fact of my daughter. But right now, I don't have no circle. Like my daughter is basically my circle right now. My brother is my circle. I actually had to call my uncle a couple of days ago and just talk to him, and he's my only uncle. I had 10 uncles. All of my uncles passed away. He's the only one left on my mom's side of the family. Actually, and me and him, we clash a lot. Because I may drink or maybe I may be sober, but he may be under the influence, and we just clash. And it's a lot of heated words, and I'm like, I can't really fuck with him. But then I say to myself, like, what if he was sober and I was drinking, and I do the same thing with him? He may feel the same way, like I can't fox with you. You know. So yeah, man, it's very tough out here right now, man. At the end of the day, my advice to people is, man, just Just do you, man. Just do you. Take care of yourself, and you got to realize the older you get, the smaller your circle's going to be. Um, you're not going to really be like if you're not in a situation whereas you're happy. You're going to start eliminating things in your life when it comes to drinking, smoking, partying, dealing with women, and having friends in your life, man. It's going to be things like that, man. I mean, I'm more of an introvert person. Like, do I mind going out? Yeah, I don't mind going out. But every time I go out, man, there's always something going on. It's important. Like, I'd rather just stay inside where it's more comfortable, watch TV, have a drink, or maybe drink some tea, or play my game and just chill. Or if not that, if I'm not doing any of them things, I don't mind just listening to music or just having a deep thought, just sitting, just laying in the bed, just having just a deep thought about life, man, and how to be a better person in my life, man. I think these young cats out here, man, they really have to learn how to settle down and tighten up. These women out here, man, especially these older women out here that's still stuck in their ways, thinking, being 55 years old, damn you damn near a senior citizen, going to your 60s. Um, and your late 40s, and and God knows how many kids you had by different men, and you still think it's a flex saying it's okay. I still have 20-year-old men hollering at me, knowing that they hollering at you for a reason, but you don't want to see it like that. You look at it like as a compliment. They don't look at it as a compliment. They looking to fuck. You look at it as a compliment. Like, oh my God, I still look good for my age. I can still do the things I can do. No, these guys, it's trying to fuck. They know you have experience. They're trying to fuck. And like I just said, you have kids that's around their age or a little bit older or younger or close to their age or the exact same age as them. All they're trying to do is fuck. And they know that at the end of the day, after they fuck you, they do not want anything after that because they already know, like, she's in her 50s, she's in her late 40s. She can't have a family with me. She already had family. She's just fun. But the way you look at it is like it's a flex. If that's the way you want to look at life, thinking like these young men love you, and that's the way you have to revert your life to after you spent your 20 years in your early 20s when your shit was valuable, and but it's not anymore. You think the way it is with these men right now, talking to you in the early 20s, hollering at you in your late 40s and 50s, and you think that's a flex because you think they actually love you, you have a lot of issues in your head that needs to be settled. You have a lot of screws loose, thinking that they care about you because they don't. They don't. But if you think, hey, listen, if you think they love you, so be it. But you got to realize they love it. They love what you could do for them sexually. Nothing more, nothing less. Y'all women is so fucked up nowadays, man. It's sad, man. I can't speak on any other race. I can speak on my black women. Y'all black women need to start tightening up, man. Y'all so fucking ignorant. Y'all so fucking disrespectful. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all rather hear just to respond than listen to understand. Y'all just some messed up creatures, man. Y'all are. And you want to blame men. I mean, hey, listen, maybe you had no father figure in your life. Maybe you had no uncle or no male influence in your life. I always say like this: if you're a woman, you have male figures in your life, older that may be older than you. You should be able to talk to them and get some type of understanding with them because they don't want to have sex with you. They don't want to have sex with you. But shit, I don't even know anymore, man. Because the way the black community is right now, there's a lot of freaky stuff going on in the black community, man. It really is. It really is. And I'm gonna man, it's sad, man. I'm 41 years old. I'm not gonna sit up here and stress and like I said, there are some good black women out here. They are. It is. It's a rarity. It's a unicorn out here. There are some good black women out here, but I don't have time to be worrying about who's good and who's not. I gotta worry about my life. I gotta worry about my health. These women come and go. Maybe another lifetime when I cross over in the afterlife and everything like that, and maybe I'm in the afterlife. Maybe the women out there may be a whole lot better than what it is right now, man. Because these women out here, they lost a whole lot of moralities, morals, and respect. But they sit up here and blame men about, well, oh, the men are the one that mistreat us. No, it's not the men. It's the women. It's your mother. It's your aunt. It's your aunt. It's your older sister. They the one that mistreat you. The reason why they mistreat you because they want you to be they want you to be bitter just like them. Their life is already fading. The doors are almost closing in on them. They want you to feel how they feel. And then once you start feeling how they feel, then you're gonna end up having a child with a man, and you're gonna put him through the ringers, unless he's a good guy that actually want to be there for you and his child. But if not, I mean, if he does, then you're still gonna put in a ringer. If he's not, you're gonna still put in a ringer. And then once your child starts to develop in a certain age, you're gonna sit up here and talk about how bad your father his father is, or her father is, and she's gonna have that in her mind, and now she's gonna end up hating men. And that young man that hears you say things about his father hey man, end up being a fucking faggot. I'm out.